Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of This Week in Chairs, an esports podcast. This is a show where we talk about the latest news and events and stories from esports, but through the perspective of chairs specifically. We'll look at clips of the most prominent and interesting chairs used this last week in esports, and we're going to discuss them and review them and give fair and balanced coverage of those chairs and how they fit into the esports show. As always, my name is Doug Reed, and I'm joined by my co-host Jack Cambu.
Pleasure.
It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. There's nothing we'd rather be doing than sitting inside talking about chairs for about a half hour.
Exactly that.
And a reminder that of course the point of this podcast is to get sponsored by Maxnomic. I've been tweeting at them every week. They really do not seem to give a shit at all.
We have no traction on this.
No traction.
None whatsoever.
So we are absolutely failing in our effort. But the goal is to provide the most fair and most balanced coverage of chairs and esports to the point that they can't refuse to sponsor us and give us some free chairs.
And we're going to keep going no matter what, Doug. Until we get those chairs, we're going to keep reviewing other chairs in esports.
The greatest people in history, all right? They didn't succeed on the first 4 episodes, you know? Napoleon.
No, of course not.
George Washington
failed miserably in Canada during the Franco-Indian War, you know.
Which episode of his, assuming it's like an analogy to a podcast, was that? Which episode is that?
That's like, oof. That's his episode 2, I would say. Because he starts off strong, you know, he cuts down that cherry tree and then he tells his dad he could not tell a lie.
That's just not episode.
Then he takes over a minor command in the French-Indian War. And then, you know, by the time he hits his stride, the American Revolution, that's probably episode 6. So we've got another episode before the American Revolution starts.
All right, Maxnomic, you got 1 episode. Okay, let's dive into it. Let's switch over to our chairs here. Okay, we're going to do things a tiny bit differently because our first 2 chairs of the week come from totally different events, but they're kind of similar, so we can do a little bit of comparison. So this first one is from Tekken.
Also, full disclosure, this is not from this week, but the week prior, if I'm correct, right? Didn't we grab this?
But all of these are from last week.
Yeah.
From last weekend, yeah.
Or from 2 weekends ago.
No, last weekend.
Last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know what this is. I stumbled across it on Twitch. I don't even know where this is being held, like what language. That I just don't know these characters. It's a Tekken tournament called King of the Iron Fist, but it's not clear to me why there's a tiger and a pirate playing. These are the chairs that they compete on, or stools, really.
Ottomans.
These are arguably footrests.
Yeah.
And so before we dive into this, I want to jump into our next set of chairs, which is from the League of Legends All-Star matches. And this was held in Barcelona.
That's correct.
I'm not really familiar with League of Legends, but you know, the gist of it, it's a show match between big players. And this is actually for the 1v1 portion of it. You can see here, they had the players sitting center stage on these chairs here.
That's correct. And just as an aside, Team Fire, Team Ice, it's basically the All-Star games. They choose individuals from every single segment. So, you know, you've got your Korean players, you've got your NA players, you've got your EU players, and they all join up on either Team Fire, Team Ice. They did their normal 5v5s, and then they also, this for the first time, really, they kind of sanctioned a 1v1. They had done 1v1s prior, but they weren't really that big of a deal. They were kind of just show fillers, whereas they made the 1v1s this year a much bigger deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. So that's the stage is set.
Yeah.
So it's good background. I didn't know. So, and these are the chairs that we're looking at here. So, why don't we start? What are your first thoughts on these? Because I think the general topic, there's a lot of similarities between these two and a lot of differences.
And you know what the main similarities are going to be? It's going to be these crappy wire supports. Like, thinner than my pinky. Like, holding up people.
Very tall.
Very tall. Also, tiny little back brace, right?
Yeah.
Like digging right into your low back if you try and lean back at all. Also,
it's not offering any support at all.
And I feel like if you even tried to use any of that support, like look at how high up Reckles is. Reckles is on the right. Reckles is not only high up in this chair, but he's also boosted up on this little platform underneath him, which is
not clear why. He is severely taller than the guy on the left.
Like, you know, if either of them leans back, it's just all the way down and they die. Like, they just snap their goddamn necks as they fall.
It looks like a daddy long leg.
Yeah,
exactly. Tiny little body. It just looks dangerous. Like there's no support. It would just fall. And why is he on a platform? Why is he on the edge of a platform? Yeah. Look, he's on the very edge of it. If he scoots at all, that's just dangerous.
And it's not like he's way shorter than his opponent, and that's why they put him up on.
No,
putting him on that platform raised him up even further than his opponent. Like,
okay, and these guys aren't. Yeah, the reason I say it's similar to the Tekken one is just a footstool, right? There's no back, and it doesn't pretend to have a back. This one kind of pretends to have a back.
This one is pretending to be like a bar stool, well, not necessarily like a bar stool, but like a you pull it up to a tall counter.
Yeah, but there's essentially no back support in either of these, right? No, but this one pretends to have back support. Yeah. It's just terrible. Like it's a scary. And let's go back to the Tekken one now. So with this, I feel like it's similar except way lower.
Way lower. Like
extraordinarily low chair.
I'm just noticing. It looks like from left to right they get progressively taller.
Wait, really?
Like, and maybe that's just an optical illusion that I'm experiencing on my own. But like, and I mean this one's obviously further back, but like it kind of looks like they're getting taller.
I don't think that's correct. You're correct. Wait. Oh shit, I need to go back. Okay. The one on the right
is just totally different.
It's just different.
Yeah, it just does not have those crossbars. I don't know why. Absolutely no clue why.
Okay, so what about just the idea of a chair with no back at all? What do you think of that in an esports setting?
I don't think it's very conducive. I mean, I guess for like an FPS where you're playing with a controller, I could see how that would be useful.
Well, you do have a they have
they are playing with
a
fight stick.
Yeah,
so no matter what I mean, I guess in this situation, with an arcade machine like this, you're never really gonna have.
You don't need to
lean back because you're leaning forward to play.
Yeah. And definitely a point is like this is in the context of esports, right? And so it's for an audience, presumably, and so you get a bigger view of them.
Yeah.
If you don't have like a big chair back kind of blocking it.
Very true.
And there's just there's weird stuff going on throughout this tournament. So
this is going to be a cosplay heavy episode.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
There's a lot more cosplay than there has been previously. So I don't know about the no back because on the one hand, like you said, you're probably not going to use a back much anyway. You're kind of leaning forward with a fight stick. On the other hand, like if you're playing for a 30-minute match, like it's just more tiring to not have a backrest. Yeah. That is going to affect your play, and you can see from the expression of this androgynous pirate that. You can tell they're just wishing there's a backrest.
Yeah. Well, I will say though, for fighting games like this, normally you're going up on a 90 round or 90-second round, no matter what. So you're not going to have these long, drawn-out matches that you're going to have in a League or Dota or.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It is a lot.
Heroes of the Storm game.
What's that?
No one knows. I'm gonna try it, Doug. I swear.
So one thing I will say is these are freakishly low to the ground. I don't know what context these could be used in other than this like low fight stick station, which is fine, but it's very specialized. But it seems like they're very safe. Like it seems like very sturdy.
Yeah.
So unlike the daddy long leg chairs, which are
way too high up,
over.
even though they have the very similar kind of metal tubing structure to them.
Like the fact that these are a tenth of the height.
Yeah, they're much more stout.
Yeah. So safety wise, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to see many accidents from this, or would you? Because there's no back, and people might just fall backwards.
I mean, that's what you'd have to worry about, but it's pretty open and obvious that there's no back here.
Yeah.
So it's part of the design of the chair. People are going to instantly recognize that, like, oh, I'm not supposed to lean back in this because obviously there's no back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to. And I would even say, if we go back to League of Legends, I'd say it's more likely to fall backwards out of the seat on these because if you think there's a backrest and you lean back, you're just going to topple over.
Yeah. No. Definitely. And I still just don't understand why these are so high up. There's absolutely no reason.
I just don't understand why he's boosted.
That's
There's
also
no explanation why he's
boosted.
Maybe
in both senses of the term.
He just wants to be his hands higher up. That has to be it, right?
I honestly don't know. It's so strange. I don't know. Riot. You got to rethink these chairs. And that platform.
Especially that platform. But over the head, that looks good. So, and same thing. I mean, same argument with such a short backrest, the audience gets to see more. It works in the round. So I'd say there's benefits there, but it's just unsafe and weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
All right.
Shall we rank them?
Let's rank them.
Should we back it up to the old Ottomans?
Okay.
All right.
So Tekken, what is your review on a scale of 1 to 7, and why?
I'm gonna give them a 3.7, and the reason why, I do think that they are chairs that are gonna be good for a Tekken tournament. I don't like the aesthetic of them that much. They kind of remind me of, I don't know, just like generic Ottoman. That's all I can think of.
Just footstool?
Yeah, and like,
well, I mean, no footstool
would
look like that. It would have the metal frame.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
like
distinct from a footstool.
The seat almost looks like it has carpeting on it. You know, like kind of like hotel red carpeting, like generic carpeting. It doesn't look all that comfortable to sit in. It's going to be good to like lean over a fight stick for. Again, it would be good probably for an FPS as well. But yeah, there's not a lot of flash to it.
What would you replace the red leather, hotel leather with?
The red carpeting, you mean?
The red carpeting, yeah.
Jeez. Probably white leather.
Just white?
Just like pure white leather.
What about leopard white? What about this guy's face?
Just
blown up
printed.
And you get to sit on it.
I'm okay without doing that. Though I can imagine some ladies who would be fine with it.
Oh yeah. All right.
Roasted.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm bumping it up. I don't like this chair. I would never want to sit on this chair. I don't think it looks that good, but holy shit, does this work well for a Tekken tournament? You know, like it fits the theme. Like,
well,
they're going for
especially this
weird
Tekken tournament.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I mean. Like, they're like, okay, we're gonna have weird androgynous pirates. We're gonna have a guy whose face we zoom in on for some reason. Like, it's just gonna be fucking weird, and we're gonna get chairs that just fit right into that. And also, they made these arcade machines which are like a foot off the ground, and so you need super small chairs to make that work, and they just nailed it.
Not very true.
I'd say either they designed this event and then found the perfect chairs to match, or maybe they started with these chairs and were like, let's build a Tekken tournament around it.
I was thinking that is... I was just thinking, obviously this is an arcade fighter. I bet you that these chairs and the machines probably came from the same arcade bar, or like the same arcade, and they just took everything with them. They were like, these are very useful for what we have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Well, so pretty good overall. I think these fit in well to the show.
Yeah.
And they're unique. So 3.7 for you, 4 for me. That's a 3.85. Congratulations, Tekken. Let's move on to... I think that's pretty good review overall. Let's move on to these. And here I got the Enhance.
The Enhance. Ooh, classy. You can see that it's HD.
I'm giving it a 2. This is...
Yeah,
This is a fucking bad chair.
It's awful.
It's dangerous. It doesn't look good. The back, it's like... It's like duplicitous. It's lulling you into a sense of security when, in fact, you're in the most dangerous position.
It's top heavy. It doesn't have any supports running between the legs either, which is, upsetting to me. Yeah.
These chairs, last week on the show, we talked about how in the year 2000 there was 650 deaths as a result of chair falls. A large percentage of them were probably from chairs like this.
Probably from these two chairs specifically.
These have actually... This chair has killed hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And its reign of terror must come to an end, and that's why I'm giving it a 2. Also, there's no sex appeal because it would just collapse under the weight of
anything.
Even one person, for the most part.
Yeah, no, there's nothing redeeming about this chair. I think a 2 is a very good rating for it. It is a chair in the loosest sense.
But it is a chair.
It is a chair. It was an esports.
Like, you're at least at a 1. You get your baseline because it is a chair.
Yeah. And yeah,
no one can disagree with that.
There's nothing to it. That's the fact of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't want to sit in this chair in any circumstance, especially if I'm playing a game.
What if you're being paid like these players are? They're like, look, we're going to pay you $500 to come play in this show match, but you have to sit on this...
I'd stand.
this dangerous spider chair and risk your life.
Yeah, I mean, that becomes a workers' comp issue. It doesn't actually, but we can pretend it does.
All right, congrats, right? You get a 2 on your chairs. That might be the lowest rated chair we have done on this show.
I think in the first episode...
Until the next chair we show, probably.
I think Mere Will gave give the first chair like a
1, right?
a 1.7 or something.
Yeah.
Somebody did something along
I
those
think
lines.
this is collectively the lowest. So
Yeah, this one's real bad.
this is a bad chair.
It's bad. Oh, yeah. And you know that's just going to dig into your back.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
All right.
Next episode. I mean, next...
Our last
man.
chair of the day comes to us from Smash City, LA. This is a Super Smash Bros. 4 event. It was held at Machinima Studios. 16 players invited from the Smash 4 community. We can see Zero here is one of the best Smash 4 players of all time, duking it out there. And the event itself was very strange. And so here is here's the audience. So let's hold on this. It's loops for about a minute. So it appears they hired cosplayers to come be in the audience, which is fine if that's their jam. But we want to talk about these chairs. So we've talked about a lot of Smash event chairs in the past, and they all have this, sort of very mass market, stackable sort of style. That seems to be the consistent thing with Smash tournaments. But these, I would say, are the shittiest. These are awful.
These are literally folding chairs. That's all they are.
They are literally folding chairs. Yeah. They are plastic, where all the other ones at least had a metal frame of some kind. They offer the just least amount of surface area for any chair that we've reviewed, excusing, I guess, the stool. And they're dangerous. The color's bad. And I would argue it's made even worse by the contrast with, for example, Princess Zelda. Because that's
or
a princess.
Fox McCloud.
She deserves a better chair.
Or Ness wielding Cloud Strife's Buster Sword, which... I mean, I saw Cloud Strife and Zack from Final Fantasy VII to the left over there, but it's still weird. Yeah, and even just the vibe of the Machinima Studios clashes with those chairs.
Yeah.
Like, this is, it's kind of like a cool post-industrial, almost cyberpunk-esque studio, and then they're like, oh, but let's go down to the IKEA, buy 100 of these chairs for $50.
They don't even sell these in IKEA, I don't think. This is like you had to go to, I don't know, Walmart and
restaurant supply, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just and go for the cheapest, shittiest chairs. And I would argue that you should probably lose the Ness with a mustache and put that money into chairs instead.
Yeah, no, the cosplay selection was very strange. I mean, I guess they are all Smash Bros. Characters, though I don't know if Zack is a skin for Cloud.
Yeah, he's a skin for Cloud.
Is he?
Smash 4,
okay,
yeah.
because last time I played Smash 4 with Cloud, they only had the Final Fantasy VII version and then the Advent Children version. They didn't have Zack.
Oh, gotcha.
So that must be a newish addition. But I haven't played 4 in a while. Tangent over. Just not. I don't understand why they would go with cosplayers over anything else.
Yeah,
Like, it's very strange to me because they're all kind of.
Yeah, and to be clear, we're reviewing the chairs here, but the cosplayers bring into focus just how bad these chairs look, right? Because then you have people who are dressed up in all this stuff, sitting in the most bland and structurally poor chairs that I think we've ever seen on this show. These chairs suck ass 1.5.
I'm going to give them a little higher bit of a grade. Not too much. It's going to be a 2.
Okay.
And the reason why is because these are the chairs that America is built on. These are the backbones of American industry. Just mass-produced garbage, can barely hold up its populace, but it does somehow until it breaks. That's why these chairs are getting a 2. Totally clash with the theme of the studio, totally clash with the cosplayers. Definitely not comfortable to sit in.
No, these are horrible. We all sat in these. These fucking
these are the worst.
Suck.
Like, this is...
You're subjecting your audience to this.
You sat in these during graduation. You sat in these, like, any large public event that there were chairs provided that weren't built in or somehow brought in.
It was some variation. You think back to
chair.
any of those events where I was like, man, that took a long time. It's because you were sitting in these chairs. An awful, awful chair, which just dug into your back and made the experience terrible.
Oh, man. And it's like, the seat is super hard, too, so your butt hurts. Like, just not good.
Zelda is so sad, or Peach, excuse me, and Zelda and Link.
They're all pretty sad.
And not just because of these chairs.
Yeah, just there's a bit of sadness in everyone.
Alright. Well, congratulations, Machinima. You have the worst reviewed chairs that we have done so far on the show. The 1.75. Congratulations. That is it for shares this week. Let's move on to Chair News. Chair News is a segment where we talk about any big, exciting updates in the chair world in general. It doesn't have to be about esports specifically. It's just, big new chair brands releasing something exciting. Maybe there was some recall or drama. There's no chair news this week, though.
Nope. We definitely have not found much chair news.
There's not a lot.
There's that one really good one about the substitute teacher.
Yeah, 1 week we had chairs news.
We had one chair news.
A woman taped her students to a chair, but no such gold nugget this week.
We'll get there eventually, Doug.
And lastly is chair trivia. This is the segment where we question our own knowledge about chairs so that we can come away from every episode learning a little bit more, feeling more well-rounded about this important topic.
And this week I am doing chair trivia again. I've promised Doug that it will not be history related, and it is not.
Okay.
In the conventional sense.
Okay.
All right. This chair was made by this conqueror, or this chair made by this conqueror was forged from the 1,000 swords of his defeated enemies.
How is that not historical?
Because it's not real history.
Ah, okay, wait, say it again?
Okay.
So, this conqueror... okay.
The chair forged by this conqueror was made
Okay,
from
so I know
the
it's...
1,000 swords of his fallen enemies.
Fuck, okay, so I know it's Game of Thrones, but I don't remember... Oh, what's his name? Starts with a V? No. Because it's the name of the dragon lady. It's her last name.
That would be correct. It would be.
Except
her
I
last
haven't
name.
watched Game of Thrones.
Doug,
I only read a book.
You're killing me.
5 years ago.
I guarantee everyone who's watching this right now is screaming at their computer monitors or televisions, however they choose to watch this,
or iTunes.
Or iTunes.
The place where we do not distribute this podcast. Oh shit! It's okay. I think his name was Dragon Man.
Close. Aegon Targaryen the First.
Targaryen. Fuck! I should have known that. God, it's so obvious now. Yeah, and there's the brother Targaryen and her.
Oh well.
Well,
you tried.
I learned something. Well, that wraps up this terrible episode of This Week in Chairs.
I think this might be our shortest episode.
And worst.
It's also possible it's our worst.
It's a strong correlation.
We don't really know what we're doing still. We're just kind of going off the cuff.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We hope that you'll follow and participate in our quest to earn a sponsorship from Maxnomic, and finally get 2 free chairs for our apartment.
If possible. Again, tweet, email.
Bug Maxnomic.
As much as possible. Get us those chairs.
Thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Alright, it's over.
Oh.